I can't believe it's taken so long, but I'm finally doing this. Hey guys, it's Kristi. Welcome back to my channel. I can't believe it, but I have actually never made a Christmas wreath before, any wreath for that matter. And so that's why I'm so excited today to be making a Christmas wreath for you. And we're gonna do this as part of the DIY Christmas wreath challenge that I'm hosting with my friend Antoinette from Simple Yet Chic. Guys, if you don't know Antoinette, then you really need to go check out her channel. She loves entertaining and decorating, and she has impeccable style. I think her channel name sums it up perfectly. Simple Yet Chic. That is definitely her decorating style. And if you like my videos, I really think you're gonna love Antoinette also. This is an open collaboration, so make sure you check out the playlist as well. And I'm gonna leave links for Antoinette's channel and the playlist in the description box below. We're gonna be getting lots of Christmas wreath inspiration today. I started out by laying out all of my supplies. I wanted to make sure that I had everything ready to go right at my fingertips, so once I started the process, I would be good to go. When I was shopping for this, I picked up some different types of greenery. I know I want to use the eucalyptus. The rest of it, I'm not really sure if I will use or not, but I wanted to have different options just so that I knew I would have enough materials. I also bought some Christmas ornaments, some gold beads. I also found this box of potpourri that I felt was in the color scheme I wanted, and I did want to use some pine cones on my wreath, so I thought this was the perfect way to stay in with my color theme and then have some options if I wanted to use any of the pieces of it besides the pine cones. And then of course I have the potpourri left over to use in other ways once I'm done. All of the greenery, the potpourri, and the bead picks are from Hobby Lobby. The ornaments were from Dollar Tree, and the wreath that I'm using as the base was from the thrift store, and I found that for only $3. I also have 2 types of wire and my glue gun. Again, I'm not sure if I will use all of it, but I wanted to have it out just in case. I'm starting out by removing the bow from the wreath, and it was just tied on with garbage bag ties, so it was really easy to get off. And then I'm taking some time to just fluff the wreath and get it ready to start putting everything on. I wanted to use the eucalyptus to be the main feature on my wreath and to cover up a lot of the pine that you see that was already on the wreath. I love the different textures and the different color from the eucalyptus, which is a little bit lighter, to the darker evergreen that you see from the pine. So I think this is gonna be really pretty, and I'm using that as the base, so I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the eucalyptus in first. I'm using my wire cutters to cut the stems of the eucalyptus. I'm cutting it so I have a few leaves and some berries on most of my pieces. Some of the pieces will not have the berries just because of the way the branches were, but on most of them, I think they actually will have a few of the berries. I'm trying to keep the stems as long as possible because I want to be able to just stick these in. I don't want to permanently attach anything to this wreath, and I want it to be as mess free as possible, so later if I want to take it apart I can. And I'm thinking with the eucalyptus I'll just be able to stick it in and it will probably stay. I'm not sure what this is called, but I love the texture of it, and again the color. I think the light color is going to work nicely with the eucalyptus, and like I said, play nicely with the greenery. I think the 2 shades complement each other very well. I always think having different shades of green is so pretty. It actually reminds me of when we lived in Alaska and we had all of the evergreen trees, but then you'd also have the birch trees, which brought in a lighter feel, and when you saw the 2 together, I always felt like that was so pretty. So that's kind of the look that I'm going for here, or at least the feel with the colors. I'm cutting these long enough to just stick into the wreath as well. I am thinking that at some point I might have to go back and tie them in, but for now I'm just leaving them like this, and that allows me to be able to move them around as I put other things if I need to as well. As I was going, I wasn't sure if one stem of this was going to be enough, but it ended up that I feel like it was, so I think it turned out perfectly. Now I'm adding the gold beads. I just cut little sections off. These were picks that I found at Hobby Lobby, and I like them because, like I said, they just have the little sections, and I think each little section is perfect for the amount of beads that it has on it. So I'm just going around and putting these in. I'm not using my wire for these. I may have to come back later and put wire, but for now, I'm just trying to wrap it with the branches of the evergreen and thinking that will hold it in place, and it seems to be working for now. I'm also working with this to make sure that I'm going different directions with my beads, because I don't want them to all look exactly the same. So I think the more I just kind of move them in different directions, the more I think it helps the look of the wreath to look like it was more intentional to do it that way. I'm also finding that it helps as you're going to hold the wreath up and kind of look at it and then set it back down to kind of decide what direction or where to place things next. So even though you may not be seeing me do that on here, I am doing that periodically as I go. Now that I've got the beads in place and I like how that's looking, I'm gonna add the pine cones. So what I'm doing for that is just wrapping the wire around the pine cone and twisting it. I tried a couple different things, but I find that if I just kind of turn the pine cone and twist it, that seems to work the best. And then I'm just attaching that to the evergreen from the wreath that I had originally, and that seems to be holding the pine cones into place. Now it's time to add in some color with the ornaments. So I'm gonna stick with red and gold, but I am gonna use the gold glitter kind, and then also the ones that are more matte, so that it gives two different textures with the gold. And for the red, I'm using two different sizes, and I really wanted to have enough red that it gave it a nice little pop of color, but without going overboard. I decided to just place the ornaments on the wreath so that I can see how it's all gonna look and make sure I have them where I want them and spread out the way I want. Because of the color, I think it makes more of a difference with the ornaments than it did with the other things that I was putting on the wreath, where they were all the same color, so it didn't really matter. I know it's gonna take more time, but I am going to use the wire to attach the ornaments instead of using the hot glue. I wanna be able to take this apart later and maybe redo it as something else. So I don't want the glue. I just think that's gonna make it so messy if I try to take it apart at some other time to redo it. So I think the wire will make it easier, although I know that's gonna be more time consuming, both to put it on and take it off. Well, maybe not taking it off, because then you'd still have to take all the glue off of the wreath, which is not necessarily an easy process. I love how my wreath turned out. I think the colors are beautiful. I like the little bit of pops of red and gold. And at first I wasn't sure if I was going to add a bow or not, but I did end up adding this bow that I found at Hobby Lobby. Bow making is not really my thing, so I found this for $5, and I thought that was actually a great deal for this big bow, and I think it looks great on the wreath. I'll probably come back and add some fairy lights to the wreath. I don't have any right now that are on timers, and that's what I want for this, so when I put it outside, I don't have to worry about turning it on and off every day. holiday. I'll try to find some and put a link down in the description box below in case you would like to have some fairy lights on timers as well. Remember to go check out Antoinette's channel and the playlist for lots more Christmas wreath inspiration. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That really helps me out. Also, remember to subscribe and turn on your bell notification so you won't miss any of my holiday videos. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you more than you know. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.